Whoa, hey there. In this video, I'm gonna be going over the pros and the cons of living in Canyon Lake, California. I'm gonna be sharing with you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And if you guys stick around until the end, I'm gonna share a con with you that's not really talked about, not really known about, or hey, just some insight. That way you can get some really good clarity to see if Canyon Lake is right for you. So stay tuned because we're gonna get after it right now. Now, Canyon Lake, California. I will share with you just a bit of insight. That way you can know what you're getting yourself into. It does host 11,000 plus residents. Now, Canyon Lake, California, it is unique. It is a one-of-a-kind 400-acre lake for the use of residents for fishing, skiing, wakeboarding, on all your pleasure doings that you really like. Now, Canyon Lake, it is a gated community and it is you can only enter by invitation only. Ooh, sounds very fancy, right? How come I've never heard of it, Jonathan? Well, because it's really kept quiet. It is really a hidden gem within Southern California and within Riverside County. Not a whole lot of people know about Canyon Lake, but it does host 20 parks, and it also hosts little beaches throughout the community where you can go. In those parks, you have a variety of amenities: volleyball courts, basketball courts, its own frisbee disc golf course, and oh, let's not forget, it does have its own 18-hole golf course within the community. So that's amazing as well. You might be thinking, wow, what's the catch, Jonathan, right? Well, there's really not much of a catch other than it's a great place to be. And if you really want to see more about Canyon Lake, you can also go check out my Canyon Lake vlog tour. So that way you can get additional information and you can really see what Canyon Lake does really host in person, because I'm out there walking through the neighborhoods, the streets, and just showing you guys all different amenities within Canyon Lake. Now, I do want to say, if this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything there is about living, eating, breathing, playing in Canyon Lake, California, then subscribe below and tap that bell for notifications. That way you can be the first to know about the current market here in Canyon Lake. My name is Jonathan. The team and I, we do get calls and emails every single day from people just like you looking to make their move, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're deciding to move in 9 days, 90 days, or even 900 days, you can always give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or schedule a Zoom down below. That way we can help you make your move to Canyon Lake, California. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump into your pros and cons, the good, the bad, the ugly. And so, really be prepared, because it's kind of a lot of good pros, and maybe let's see what type of cons there is as well. All right, so pro number one, I'm gonna give you guys your desserts first before I jump into your veggies. Pro number one of living in Canyon Lake, California. Well, let me just give it to you. It is the diverse community. Now, what do I mean by diverse community, right? Well, it does consist of over 4,000 homes within the Canyon Lake community. Now, within those 4,000 homes that consist in the community of Canyon Lake, you have a variety of options. If you want that little 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, with maybe 1,200 square feet, because you don't have a big family, you can absolutely get that. Maybe you want to bump it up because you have a little bit bigger family, and maybe you want some office space in a kid bedroom, right? You can get up 4-bedroom, or you can really upgrade, get something kind of more a luxury and kind of in the lakefront, right? You absolutely can. So if you want that big 5-bedroom mansion right off the lake on the lakefront, you absolutely can get that. You can have a variety of houses ranging from all the way, as low as 400,000 up to 1.5 million. That's how diverse the community really is. And so that is one of the great things about living in Canyon Lake, California. And that's why we're naming that as pro number one. Pro number two of living in Canyon Lake, California, and that's going to be your amenities, right? Like I mentioned earlier in this video, there is a lot to do within Canyon Lake, and I did mention some of the water sport activities that you could do, like i.e. maybe tubing, right? Water skiing, wakeboarding, slothing, you know, I can go on and on, fishing, right? And let's not forget about the awesome parks, or let's not forget about the basketball court, or the disc golf course, the frisbee disc golf course, or the volleyball court, right? And the nice little beach sand areas that they have. Well, within the parks too, all the amenities that gets included, you also get special events hosted by the Homeowners Association within Canyon Lake community. So that's another great thing. So if you're there during 4th of July, you're gonna have an awesome 4th of July parade, right? Or fireworks show, I would say. They also host car shows, you know, during the summer. You got the old classic hot rod cars coming out here, which they do host those type of events as well. So it is a very family friendly community, and that's why a lot of families tend to move to Canyon Lake. If you hear about it, right? It's kind of one of those best kept secrets within Southern California. And so that's why, right, we're naming amenities as pro number 2. Pro number 3 of living in Canyon Lake, California is going to be your crime and safety. Now, according to the Neighborhood Scout, Canyon Lake is actually safer than majority of cities, towns, and villages in America. 61% that is. And it also has a lower crime rate than 87% of communities in California. 87%. That is pretty impressive in itself, according to Neighborhood Scouts of FBI crime data. Now, how risky is that, right? Not really risky at all. Your chances of becoming, you know, in a violent crime situation is really 1 of 109, while the national average is tending 1 out of every 42 people. So 1 out of every 42, or 1 out of every 109 people. Sounds pretty safe to me. So it's pretty well to know that, you know, without a doubt, you and your kids' safety or your family's safety is really well taken care of within the Canyon Lake community. So that is why we're naming crime and safety as number 3 in our pros. So on to pro number 4. Pro number 4, and to finish off all the pros for this video, is going to be that it is a golf cart friendly community. Now, that's a really neat feature when you're living in Canyon Lake, for the simple fact that, hey, you can just jump in a little golf cart, drive down to, you know, one of the little lakefronts that they have, or the basketball courts, or the volleyball court, or the restaurant, whatever you please. You can also drive across the street outside the community to do your shopping as well. So that's a really big plus. It is shared roads with, you know, all the other automobiles driving within the community. So a big plus, because you can drive your little golf cart around the community. Not all communities allow it, but this one does, and I think it's one of the big major factors if you are living in Canyon Lake is you must have a little golf cart. It's not a must, but it definitely helps out. Now, that's going to finish off all the pros here on this video. Now what I'm going to do is I want to jump off into the cons and kind of show you guys how many cons there really is when you're living in Canyon Lake. So on to con number 1. Con number 1 of living in Canyon Lake, California. And really, this is the only major con that people actually really talk about. And it's not, you know, really that much of a con, but, you know, it's up to you to decide. And that is going to be, is a very strict community. Now, what do I mean by very strict community? Like I mentioned earlier in this video, right? It is a gated community, and given that it is a gated community, not anyone and everyone can enter this community and enjoy the lake or the amenities, right? If you don't live within the community, I'm going to tell you this: if you're not invited, they absolutely will not let you in. And, you know, a lot of people kind of see that as a con for the simple fact that they want to have friends or family over. Hey, all you have to do is invite them. Now, I myself I am a real estate agent, and I have hard times getting into the community. And I kid you not, right? I have to show them my driver's license. I have to show them my real estate license to ensure that I am who I say I am whenever I'm out there selling homes within Canyon Lake, California. And so a lot of people kind of see that as a deterrent. deterrent whenever they're living in the community. As you know, there is strict guidelines, but that's again kind of a good, kind of a bad thing. It's kind of a bad because, hey, there is a homeowners association. They expect it to be a certain way at all times, which I respect. But that's one of those things that, hey, you have to do your due diligence. You know, am I okay with the gated community, inviting people into my house? Because it is gated, there is security. You do have to adhere by their rules. You can't drive motorcycles within the community. You have to park them outside. There's no jet skis allowed as well on the lake. So yes, there is some stipulations when living there. So you do have to follow all the rules and regulations, but that right there is pretty much the only con there really is about living in Canyon Lake. Other than that, there's so many pros about living in Canyon Lake that we can just really talk about them, and I can really explain them to you more in depth. But that right there is the 4 big major pros that a lot of people tend to mention when they move to Canyon Lake, and as well as the con when they move to Canyon Lake. It is a bit strict, but hey, that's what you're gonna get when you do get a private gated community. You wanna ensure that they are taking care of your community like you wish, you know, they would, because you're paying for it. So that right there is gonna finish off all the pros and the cons of living in Canyon Lake, California. If you have questions, comments, concerns, you can always comment down below. I'd be more than happy to reply to you guys. Thank you for watching Living in South California.